the slipper coral.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a hard coral, as is his cousin, the mushroom coral.
Like a mushroom too. So it's wonderful.
Quite hard, quite rigid. Now,
No, it's that big now.
nah, he's alright.
Yeah.
He's alright. Now you can see how here, he's giving up a bit of mucus here, yeah? This stuff tastes great. Nah. Joking. But that protects the corals from drying out from desiccation. When they are exposed on the low tide, sometimes that mucus is produced always to keep them moist, avoid desiccation. And like I was saying, if you rub this on you, it will protect you from the sun, even though.
So that kind of proves it's alive, right? Because it wouldn't be
Yeah,
secreting food.
it wouldn't be
dead.
pushing that out, yeah, if it was dead. And it wouldn't have any of that colour, it'd be completely white or generally covered completely with algae if it was dead. So they're two hard corals. I've got another hard coral here. If you are going to hold this one, try and hold it where the dead bit is. There's a bit of encrusting coral here, and then you've got some staghorn coral, so it's broken off the reef. And it was just sitting on the sea floor. Now you can see how it's just very much the thin veneer on top that is actually alive. The rest of it is old skeleton, old coral growth. So you've got a branching coral. Often when coral dies off, if it gets colonised by this encrusting coral, it may cover this entire thing. It'll eventually outcompete these algae that's covering it, and hopefully outcompete it and form an encrusting layer over it. Once the large sort of separate particles of corals get covered with the encrusting coral, they cement back into the reef, and then other things can grow off them. That's how the reef builds up. This encrusting coral really does help to act like a cement to get it all together. But as you can see on top, they've got that big polyp, quite large on top. That's the apical polyp where all the growth occurs. That's where they branch out from, right at the tips. We can have a closer look past that round if you like.
Why are they never red? I haven't seen here the red ones.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of red coral.
Yeah?
No.
They are blue or beige or white?
Yeah, green, but yeah, not a lot of red. A lot of the red is over in Egypt and in those places, yeah. And further north in the Micronesia, but we don't get a lot of red coral here.
Yeah, I have seen blue ones.
But not a lot of red.
Even the sea stars are blue here. Otherwise they are red.
Yeah, we even get sort of mauvey, purple, pink as well, but not red.
But that's coral. Yeah.
This is a bit of boulder coral. Okay, he's been broken off at some stage as well. Over it all as well, if you've got some pink encrusting coral that's growing it there, so you can see that pink encrusting coral growing there. And you've also got a lot of macroalgae growing on it too. You can have a feel of that, have a feel of the weight of the coral rock. It's quite heavy, yeah? So they're all hard corals. And then I've got a bit of soft coral. This is a lobophytum, the carpet leather coral.
Like a mushroom.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a mushroom.
Very much like a mushroom, yeah. This thing here, it's not really much at all, except it's what they call an operculum. A lot of shells have this as their trapdoor. They choose this as they come back in, so a lot of mollusks or gastropods.
It hasn't gotten around there yet.
Do we put him back in the water? Have these operculums as their little trapdoor, and that protects them if they retreat back into their shell whenever predators are around. And that's their little trap that stops predators from getting
Okay.
in.
Who does that belong to?
I'm not sure. One of the gastropods. A lot of different species have
A
it.
gastropod operculum.
Yeah. So like this.
To do this to you.
This is a trocus.
Trocus.
He's alive. So you may. This is actually called This is the commercial trocus. Now, these trocus were collected off the reefs not only for their meat. You can eat that mussel on the inside. And the shells were used to make buttons. Still are used to make buttons.
Thanks.
He's alive.
Yeah?
So he's a huge herbivore. Sometimes they're known as top shells.
No.
when he's alive, they have a radula, like a rasping tool, and he goes along and he scrapes algae off the reef, and that's how he
Now,
feeds.
what do you call this?
This is a trocus.
Trocus.
Trocus shell.
If not, he's going back. He's going back in, I think.
He's going back in.
Yeah.
All right. A bit like a sort of nautilus or ammonite, if you like, on the different shade.
He's like just a big snail.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just a big snail.
Can eat this.
You can eat them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trocus, yeah. Yeah. Alright, and then I found a little stick star.
Yeah, I'll see.
But he's had a bit of damage.
Poor lad.
But not to worry. Being in a echinoderm, he'll grow back. He'll grow back those limbs proper.
That's such a dark place, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, you're not.
He's got little tube feet underneath. You see those tiny little tube feet sticking up? Yeah. That's how he moves around.
Yeah.
His tiny little tube feet. Now,
He's getting concerned because he's upset.
so put me back the other way. Tiny little tube feet. Now on top there's a scale. I may have lost it in there. Hard to see with this particular one. There's usually a little indentation. He might be over here where he's been eaten. And that's called a madreporite, and he sucks water through that to breathe, and then he pushes that water through canals which run up and down his legs, and he uses that water through his body to move his limbs. They're related to sea urchins, and they're also related to these guys here.
What did you call him? A stick star?
He's a sea star.
A sea star?
Yeah. So people call them starfish, but they're
Don't pee on me! Don't pee on me!
Can eat them.
yeah, not this one. Not this particular one. Yeah, this is,
Because I have red, you can eat it.
yeah, this is a well, not this particular one. This is what they call a lipstick cucumber, but
Lipstick.
yeah. But there is a commercially harvested species that we still collect today, mainly for the Asian food markets. We send it over
How
to.
is it to taste?
I've never eaten it.
Like a gum.
Yeah, like an old chew.
So we assume that's the back end, is that right?
That's its that is its back end. Right on. This is his mouth up this end, and that's his back end. So he sucks water in. He breathes through his anus. And passes that through a respiratory tree, and that's how he breathes. So his main goal is to suck in sand and take the biotic material that's on the sand. So anything broken down fish, anything that's rotting, that's living on the sand, algae, things like that. And that's what he eats. He's a big, yeah. Just spat that water out. Yeah. He's a big vacuum cleaner. Now they have a defensive mechanism where they'll spit out their lower, well, it's their respiratory tree, and that will entangle whatever's trying to harass the sea cucumber, and then he'll make a bit of a slow getaway. But that sticky white substance that he spits out, if you after you get that on your hands, you rub your eyes, and it'll really, really hurt. It'll sting and cause a bit of blindness for you for a little while. But
Slight blindness.
mild blindness, that's correct. You will gain your eyesight back, but it's not complete sort of blindness. It won't. Underneath him, hundreds of tube feet, once again, which controls his movement, or which move him around. You know how I was talking about that white sand up at the other reef? This is what all the sand looks like. It's that foraminifera known as halimeda. This is I guess it's what's left over after it dies. It was the sea cucumber, honest.
And if you
reddish colour at the end.
if you suck his bum, does lemon come out?
No, it's not like a green hand.
Yeah, I got to make sure.
So there's nothing dangerous in there, folks. If you want to have a bit of a closer look, have a pick it up, then for sure. But